Alrighty then, so new units were added to the shop, and of course I'm gonna review them and tell them if you should pick them up. So, well, the units that came are bad. They're really bad. But here's the thing, right? Someone in my chat yesterday said, "Wow, Tobirama came. It must mean that he's gonna win the boost pool, right?" And all of these 5 units are in the boost pool. All of these 5. I think none of the other ones. I need to check the boost pool, but all these 5 units are in the boost pool. Maybe it is coincidence that we're getting this so late. Maybe. What I'm thinking is next week we're gonna be getting the boost pool banner. And you will still have like the option to pick one of these units up if you still want them, if they get boosted or something. So that could be a possibility, but I don't work at Grey. A lot of people think I do. I don't work at Bandai, so I don't know stuff. I know as much as you, okay? I don't work at Bandai. I wish I did, but that's what I'm saying. So let me move on here to the scene. The first unit that came is the Proof of Bonds Naruto. He's my most pulled unit of all time, and my first non-Blazing Festival 5-star. And he is really bad, but he can be good if you get. Nah. Here's the thing: is that he is bad not because he doesn't do much damage, because he does a decent amount, but it's just because he only does damage, right? 7.8 towards all enemies in range knocks them back. It's just damage, you know. If you want just damage, you have other units that do just damage and do more, like Kakashi. So he really gets really down on the, like a tier list for how good he is because of that, and he doesn't heal. Like if he healed, okay, but again, he just doesn't do anything on his normal jutsu or ultimate, just damage. Like, oh, but Kakashi, Blazing Festival Kakashi also only does damage, but Blazing Festival Kakashi does a lot of damage. There's a big difference right there. And also his abilities are pretty meh. 10% chance and 10% chance. Maybe if he gets boosted, this boost attack buy could go for 300. The reduced skill damage can go like for 40%. I feel like 40% would be good, okay? It wouldn't be too OP, it would be just decent. And then 10% could go like to 25%. Then he would be decent, okay? Then and then his multipliers would raise. Then he would be decent, but as it is right now, he's a really bad unit. Then we have Itachi as the second one. He's also really bad, and he's one that even if he wins the boost pool, I don't see him being good, because his abilities, like units that win the boost pool, they get increased things on their abilities. His abilities are ass. Lowers the rate of getting immobilized, boosts health. It's just bad. It's just flat out bad. So even if he wins the pool, he's not gonna get much better. The reason why Sage Mode Naruto became so much better after he won the pool was because the multiplier of the increased multiplier ability of his increased. And also the attack boost on his abilities, like this Naruto here has attack boost on his abilities, also increased. But like if health boost increases, that's not a big deal. So again, even if he wins, I can't see him being good. Then we have Tobirama. I feel like Tobirama can win, man. I feel like Tobirama can win the boost pool. And if he wins, he is one that like becomes extra good, okay? Because the boost attack, as we discussed, can be increased. Why isn't it playing any more music? Okay. The boost attack can be increased, and then reduces wisdom damage to like to 25%, maybe 30, hopefully. And then the increases ninjutsu and secret technique multiplier by 1 can go to 2 or 3. So he is one that really can get interesting. But still, I wouldn't recommend until he actually does get the boost. Because nowadays, like, Tobirama is just a useless unit, because there's no reason to use him really. The fact that he mobilizes himself makes him so bad. So again, I just can't see a reason why would you even like max dupe Tobirama or something. And then we have Sasuke, the Taka Sasuke. He's bad, and like even if he He's just bad. Here's the thing, as I said, just like Itachi, if his abilities get better, I still don't see how he would be much better. Because boost critical rate, this would go like to 2.5 and then each one would be like 2.5, right? Okay, he has a high chance to crit, but he doesn't do too much damage. And I just... Nah, there's no reason to have him either. He's just bad. And the last one is Sakura. Sakura is an interesting one because if she does get a boost from the ability thing, she does have 2 useless abilities which are the boost health by, but this increased secret technique recovery amount could be really interesting. So like, make it go like this to 500 and maybe this to 1000, then she would be healing a very high amount, but it's still only healing on the secret technique. Like, she's not passively healing. You need to use a secret technique on someone to heal. And sometimes it's just impossible to do that, like in a lot of scenarios, and like only when you charge like 8 chakra you can do it. So it's just not very useful. It's just something that is not gonna happen too often, and when it does happen, it's probably because you didn't need it. Like, let's say you're gonna die to Kaguya in the SS rank. What do you want? You want a unit that is passively healing, or do you want to get close to Kaguya, do an ultimate to heal, and maybe have the Kaguya have a chance to do her jutsu in someone that you didn't want, which was Sakura because she doesn't have damage reduction. It's one of those scenarios, right, where this healing doesn't help. So again, I just don't see a reason why you would have him. As I said, all these 5 units are bad. But out of all of them, the 2 ones that could get a decent boost from the boost pool are this Naruto and Tobirama. This Itachi, Sasuke, and Sakura are pretty bad. But even so, Yagura is still the pick. Still the pick. There's nothing you can say to me that will tell me that Yagura is not the pick. I already picked 2 of him, as you can see to your left here. I'm almost max duping mine. He's just better. He's just the better one in this list. He is a mini Final Fight Sasuke, and I do have 2 Final Fight Sasukes, but I still want to have Yagura because he's so good. He hits so hard on skill. And man, I wish he was in the boost pool because he would win. 100% he would win. If he was in the boost pool, man, he would be OP. So here's the thing, I just said about Naruto only doing damage, and of course, Yagura also only does damage, neutralizes affinity-based damage reduction for all enemies in range, 15.5, but he does a lot of damage, and it's on the type disadvantage, so he's helpful. He's helpful for where he needs to be helpful. He's helpful against the type disadvantage. A unit like Kaguya is so good because not only she heals for 700, but she also ignores type disadvantage, and that makes her a double useful unit. She's useful for healing and she's useful for that. And Yagura is very much useful for that. She's very much useful for carrying you on these skill missions. Man, I remember when he released, like, it was such a wow. Of course, now Final Fight Sasuke is the big boy of body, but Yagura is still my girl. Yes, she's a girl. Don't at me. But there's also one unit that can still come. Actually, can it? Check. So the inventory is until the 29th. So maybe we can get another week, because these units are going. They're going in 12 days. Because all of these, right? They stay here for 2 weeks. So if we get another inventory, they would just stay for a week, right? Maybe this will be the last one. If it isn't, okay. But if it isn't, Jugo is the other. Wait. Did they type it wrong? Wait. Yeah, I typed it. Jugo is the other pick if you already have Yagura maxed, because Jugo is seriously good. He's seriously good. He heals for 250 per turn. All these things, of course, you can also heal by more, but syncing is kind of not practical. Like syncing with long range, but syncing with body in the body team, of course, that's always gonna happen. And he has the thing where I said about Sakura not being good, that he heals on his normal jutsu and he has to hit someone. But for someone like him, that's kind of an extra, right? Because he heals on his abilities and also the field skill. And if you really need that heal, like real, like you're dying, then he can restore health by 12%. That's useful. That's useful. So he's a very good unit if you want to wait one more week. If you already have Yagura maxed, because Yagura's gonna leave in 5 days, so you should pick her up rather quick. All of these other units here, Darui, Minato, Sasuke, and Sugetsu. Sugetsu is the one that maybe you could pick if your Wisdom team is complete awful. But Darui is bad, Minato is and Sasuke is bad. He's awful. So yeah, these are my picks for this week. My picks for this week are still Yagura. Where's Yagura? Oh, okay. My picks for the week is still Yagura. So I guess, but as I said, those units can still get the boost. Hopefully, the boost will actually come before they go away, so people can actually choose them if they're still holding on to their coins. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please fucking subscribe.